How do you see this merger working for Omnicom and Publicis, given the fact that the two conglomerates are vastly different in terms of the manner in which they're run? How do you see a two-CEO structure and the American-French blend working for these two groups?
Okay, well, first off, I wouldn't say that they're vastly different. These are both global companies which operate an entire suite of global advertising brands across many regions. But the key difference here obviously would be a culture clash, with Publicis being French-owned and Omnicom a US-based group. So what we will see playing out here is that you know the co-CEO roles obviously have been put in place to facilitate this culture clash which might take place. And you have Maurice Levy and both John Wren who are going to share this CEO role for the next couple of years. And you would say that this would be to bring the two companies together and sort out any of these cultural differences which might occur. But on the whole, I'd say the advertising industry is quite a commoditized business these days, and so a lot of these global agency brands are relatively the same in how they operate within the creative and media industries.
A common concern for many is the fact that there are many conflicting clients within the two groups. How will this work? And how are clients going to benefit out of a merger like this?
Yeah, well, I would argue that this client conflict issue is probably being stirred a little bit by the competitors of Omnicom and Publicis, namely WPP here, which would stand to benefit from any fallout. How the advertising industry is structured these days, these guys have become masters of managing these conflicting clients. Agency brands have their own P&L, they operate with separate management structures and have become quite adapted to managing a lot of these things. So I think in some sense these client conflict issues have been blown over a little bit, and you can see there's Nissan which has come out in the last few days which has been supportive of this move, as has a lot of clients. So really it's going to be a bit of a wait and see, but I think at the moment it might be a little bit of pot stirring from the likes of WPP and Sir Martin Sorrell.
In a recent article, rival Harvard's CEO David Jones said, "It's a deal that makes two people happy and a whole bunch of clients destabilized and concerned." Do you agree with that sentiment? And who do you see as the biggest gainers and losers as a result of this merger?
Of course, a lot of the winners in this deal are going to be shareholders. It's hard to find organic growth in the advertising business these days. Because a lot of it, advertising growth globally over the next couple of years will be in the low single digits. So it's hard to find new growth. So a lot of this acquisition activity is about bolstering their shareholders and strengthening their base. But I think talent is going to be a huge issue in how this plays out. A lot of these companies and a lot of the business that they attract are dependent on good creative, good strategy, good media execution. And so I think there will be a lot of emphasis on trying to retain a lot of this talent. Of course, some of the independent agency brands which operate in this market may stand to benefit a little bit more if some disgruntled employees and some disgruntled clients feel that they're no longer be treated on a more personal sort of level and will be lumped into this big sort of agency corporate structure. But a big part of this, I think, is clients today they look for more nimble solutions, particularly in the digital space. More bureaucratic structures, it's going to be hard to see how this plays out. But I think obviously these two companies know that they can't exist without their clients, and so there will be a lot of emphasis on keeping these people happy, I think, over the next year or two.